What's going on, guys? My name is Austin Zaback, and in this video I'm going to be sharing with you how I bought this house right here for $0. So if you're brand new to my channel, then welcome. I am an active real estate agent here in Scottsdale, Arizona, and I'm also a real estate investor. I got into real estate at the age of 18 years old, and ever since then, over the last 7 years, I've been an active real estate agent and an active real estate investor. So let's just go ahead and jump into how I bought this income producing piece of real estate, aka the house right here, for $0, and how you can do the exact same thing. Now, depending on when you're watching the video, there's a lot of crazy things going on in the world, and I just want to let you know that in any market, you can make money in real estate. You just have to be strategic, you have to know what you're doing, and by the end of the video, right after, of course, you smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm, you're gonna know exactly what it is that you have to do. I see so many people that are like,
Austin, yeah, but with all the uncertainty going on right now, you know, the market is at an all-time high, and I'm just not 100% sure if I want to buy into the market when it is at an all-time high.
And they look at the '08 market crash and they pull out, and they're sitting on these sidelines waiting for the market to take a correction for them to buy in. And I just want to let you know that, again, in any market you can make money. The key really is making sure that you know what you're doing and that you're getting a very good price on the real estate that you're purchasing. So as long as you're getting a big enough discount and you're not over leveraged, then at the end of the day, you should be totally fine. So the first thing that I'm looking for is an area where there is a ton of new development. A lot of people live in the area, and at the end of the day, month after month, over the last at least decade, I want to see that in that area, not only are people moving into the area, but properties are appreciating year after year, month after month. Now, pretty much anywhere in Arizona is going to be a prime location, just due to the fact that in Maricopa County alone, according to the US Census Bureau, it is the #1 fastest growing county in the entire country. The next thing that I was looking for when I was looking to buy that particular property was an area where the median price point was kind of affordable and fell into like where the vast majority of buyers actually tend to buy. That way, regardless of the market, I know that over the long haul, there will always be a buyer for that property in that particular price point. I was also looking for a property where the property was comparative to the other properties in the area when it came to size. We've all seen that house before, right? Driving down the road and you see that big mega mansion being built in just the wrong area where you're like, what in the world? It doesn't even fit in with the neighborhood at all. And every time I see that, I'm just like, gosh, dang, it just like, I feel the pain of the developer. I'm like, man, you must not know what you're doing, because over the long haul, it is gonna be very, very difficult to resale a property that doesn't kind of match the other properties in the area. So in this particular area in Tempe, Arizona, Tempe is amazing, by the way, and we're gonna dive into that in just a moment. A 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 1,250 square foot home is extremely common and the most popular of every size of home. So those were the main boxes that I was trying to check off of my list when I was looking to buy a property. Right now I'm gonna dive in to how I actually acquired the property for $0. That's right, $0. Free, zip, zero, nada, okay? Make sure you stay to the end of the video because there's gonna be a ton of value if you watch to the very end. So as I was saying, Tempe, Arizona is a phenomenal place to buy a property. There's ASU, which is the college campus, and it is one of the biggest college campuses in the entire country with about 90,000 students that are enrolled into that particular college. So then I went ahead and I looked at the rent rates, and the average rent rate in the entire city of Tempe was about $1,604 a month. And again, that is the average, right? That is including apartments, that's including studios, that's including single family, condos, townhouses, and everything of the sort. So the house that I was able to purchase, I actually found on a platform, okay? And I'll show you what that platform is, and I'll link it down below. But essentially, it is a platform that allows me to find sellers in potential distressed situations, and I was actually able to buy the property for about $100,000 below market market value. And again, the platform just allows me to sort and sift through potential distressed sellers in situations all the way from foreclosure, divorce, tax default, maybe they inherited the property, they don't want it, and for whatever reason, the house needed a little bit of work, right? And for whatever reason, the sellers just don't want to put any money into it, okay? And that platform I truly love. And again, I'll link it in the description below, but it is actually where I find the majority of the properties that we buy below market value, because it allows me to sort through, again, different distressed situations. So again, I'll link it down below, but if you use that link, I believe there's a 7-day free trial, which is incredible, right? And even if you do go past the free trial, it is less than $100 a month. And honestly, that is a bargain when you're talking about buying property literally hundreds of thousands of dollars below market value. So as you can see, the property that I was able to purchase will be worth about $360,000 right now in today's market when it is all fixed up nice and clean. And I ended up acquiring that property for about $260,000. Again, I created a win-win scenario between me and the seller by putting cash in their pocket, allowing them to move on from the situation, and it only needed really about $25,000 or so worth of work. Now again, this is where it gets really interesting, and you're gonna wanna stay to the end of the video because I'm gonna show you how we actually bought the property for $0, and over the course of the next decade, we will literally make anywhere between $250,000 and $500,000 in cash. So of course, instead of using my own money to buy the deal, I ended up using a hard or private money lender, which I have a bunch of different relationships with hard and private money lenders, and therefore leveraging what they call OPM. And if you're not familiar, OPM just stands for other people's money. And I've built these relationships over the years, but you can literally go ahead and Google it. You can also go through different Facebook groups in your area of real estate investors, and you can even ask people for referrals, but there are hard and private money lenders literally everywhere you look, and you just want to pick up the phone and you want to have a conversation with them and talk to multiple different ones to see what their terms and conditions are before you go ahead and sign on the dotted line. So let's just dive into the numbers. What I went ahead and did is I financed the entire project. I not only financed the acquisition cost, but I also was able to finance the renovation cost. Our acquisition cost is about $260,000, and I estimated the rehab to be about $5,000 more than I thought it might be, just that way I have a little bit of wiggle room just in case something were to go wrong. So I estimated the renovation cost to be about $30,000. So my hard money loan came back at about $290,000 in total. I put 15% down, which equaled about $43,500 out of pocket. Now I know what you're thinking. You're like,
Austin, I clicked on the video because you said you bought the property for $0. It was free, and you're gonna make anywhere from $250,000 to $500,000 over the course of a decade. What in the heck are you talking about? You just said you had to put down $43,500, okay? Again,
if you just take a minute, smash the like button, of course, and stay to the end of the video, I'm going to explain it and break it all down for you. And by the way, for those of you that don't have the initial cash to put down, even with a hard or a private money loan, there are a ton of different ways that you can even get that covered entirely, right? And I can think of so many different ways that I'll just save that to the end of the video. But again, just do your due diligence, do your homework. I've literally seen people go get a brand new credit card with 0% APR and literally put the down payment on a credit card. Now there's a lot of different ways to do it, so don't hold me to it, okay? But I promise you, if you just look into it a little bit, you'll be able to figure out how to do this with literally no money down at all. But here's where it gets really interesting. The property will appraise again at about $360,000. It'll take us about 3 or maybe 4 weeks to go ahead and complete the renovation of, again, about $30,000. And I know the property will appraise because I've seen multiple other properties in that area that are literally a model match that have sold for about that $360,000 to $370,000 range. So what we're doing now is we're actually renovating the property as we speak right now, and we're also simultaneously working on obtaining a conventional loan for the property. So we're gonna cash out, refinance out of the hard/private money loan into a conventional mortgage. Now remember, the initial mortgage, that hard/private money mortgage, our payoff is about $290,000, right? But the appraised value is about to be $360,000. So I'm gonna cash out refi into a conventional mortgage for $360,000. Now I'm gonna pay off that initial mortgage of $290, leaving us, let's call it about $60,000 in equity, because I have about $10,000 in carrying costs to pay that high interest loan, of which I had to carry for anywhere from 30 to 60 days. And by the way, this is an incredible time to take advantage of conventional mortgages and even FHA mortgages all across the board. I've seen VA mortgages, I've seen like basically no money down mortgages. I mean, you can even ask for seller concessions. I literally just helped a couple of clients get into a house with like $1,000 out of pocket, okay? Because interest rates are at an all-time low, and this is a phenomenal time to take advantage of literally an interest rate below 3% over the course of a 30-year fixed mortgage. Okay, so what are we left with, right? I'm left with a $360,000 appraised property, but I'm only into the property for like maybe $290,000, right? I have $60,000 in equity. I pulled all of my cash back out of the deal, AKA I'm into the deal for nothing, and now I own this property with a conventional mortgage. Now here's where it gets real interesting. The rental rates in the area range from anywhere from $1,800 to $2,200 a month. And again, that's for a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 2-car carport, 1,256 square foot brick build in Tempe, Arizona. Now let's just go right in the middle and say that I go ahead and rent the property out to a tenant for $2,000 a month. Our total payment, right, our PITI, aka PITI, aka principal, interest, insurance, and taxes, comes out to about $1,500 a month. Actually, just a little bit less. I think it's about $1,457 a month. Now again, let's just say I go right in the middle and I rent it out for $2,000 a month, okay? Our PITI, our principal, our interest, our taxes, and our insurance comes out to about $1,453 a month, leaving us with about $543 of leftover money, aka what they call cash flow. Now, a lot of the gurus down in my comment section are gonna say, yeah, but Austin, you gotta account for the vacancy rate, you have to account for expenses, you have to account for maintenance, you have to account for a property manager. But for the purpose of the video, I'm gonna keep it really simple. I'm gonna say that our vacancy rate, because again, nothing's perfect, and I'm not gonna have a tenant in there every month on the month for a decade straight. So I'm gonna say our vacancy rate, meaning the amount in which there won't be anybody renting it from me, is gonna be about 4% over the course of a decade. And if you do the math at about $2,000 a month times 12, and you multiply that by 10 years, and you factor it all in at about 4%, it's about $80 a month, and I'm gonna factor in as my vacancy. And again, of course, you're gonna have maintenance and you're gonna have repairs, but remember, we just totally remodeled the entire property, right? So I shouldn't have too much repairs and I shouldn't have too much maintenance. So I'm gonna say that it's gonna be about $50 a month in repairs / maintenance. So let's just say after everything's all said and done that my cash flow is about $413 a month, and just to make it an even number, that way I can give you a little bit even more money, I'm gonna say that we cash flow just a flat $400 a month. Now that is not assuming that over the course of a decade, we're likely to see appreciation rates at about 7%, and I honestly think that 7% is pretty conservative. Remember, over the long haul, real estate will always appreciate, right? Real estate is always going up and down, but over the long haul, it will always go up in value. That is also not factoring about a 3% in increase of the rental rates over the next decade. And again, there are so many different variables that you have to consider when buying real estate, but for the purpose of the video, I wanted to make it very simple for you because so many people are overcomplicating it, and I tell you right now, it does not have to be complicated. There is literally no other industry on the planet where you can leverage OPM, other people's money, to buy an asset that you own in its entirety that over the course of time will appreciate in value. You can depreciate it on your taxes and get all of the other benefits that come along with owning real estate. Now here's where it gets really interesting, and you don't have to do this, but this is something that I like to do. I like to take that additional cash flow and I like to apply that to the mortgage. Assuming I don't have a prepayment penalty, I'm allowed to apply the additional cash flow, pretty much any additional amount of money that I want, to the actual monthly mortgage payment. So if I were just to make the minimum payment at the end of a decade, my payoff, aka my balance on that property, would be about $227,764.12. But if I just take that extra $400 a month and apply it to the mortgage payment over the course of a decade, because I don't need the money anyways, I'll live off of other income that I have, then at the end of a decade, my actual balance, my payoff, is only $171,983.52. And again, over the course of 10 years, we're not factoring in appreciation or rental increases. So again, the property is going to be worth well over $500,000, and I'm factoring a 5% appreciation rate. And again, over the course of 10 years, the property will be worth well over $500,000, and I'm only factoring in a 5% annual appreciation rate over a decade, right? And the average of the last decade has been somewhere between 9 and 11% in the exact same area. So just think about it for a minute, right? 10 years from today, I now own a house, okay? I own a house where I was literally $0 out of pocket. I had $60,000 in instant equity. I had $400 a month in cash flow. I applied that to my mortgage. The property's worth at a bare minimum $500,000, and my balance is only around $170,000. I literally just created hundreds of thousands of dollars out of thin air, right? And that is what I love about America, right? That is what I love about living in a place where we're literally inclined, right? We're actually being pushed by the government to go and to actually take risks as an entrepreneur, right? We're actually incentivized to take risks, to buy real estate, to help the economy grow, right? To stimulate the economy, and we get rewarded for that, right? And again, I'm not factoring in rental increases. I'm not factoring in all the tax benefits. I'm not factoring in any of that, because you should probably go consult with your attorney. You should probably consult with your CPA. But what a beautiful thing, right? To live somewhere where we're highly incentivized as entrepreneurs to take risks just like this. I just encourage you, if you made it to the very end of the video, I appreciate you. I appreciate you a ton. I want to build a massive YouTube community. I want to give you a ton of value every single day. As I go build my real estate business, I want to provide you with value so you can go out there and do the exact same thing, okay? I really appreciate you. I know without a shadow of a doubt that anything the mind can conceive, the mind can achieve. And if I can do it, so can you. All I would appreciate if you did right now was take just a moment and just smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. I would greatly appreciate it, okay? There's a link down below for Webull. If you click that link, you sign up, you make an account, you deposit $100, you can get 2 free stocks potentially valued up to $1,400. And again, I have the other link down below. I believe there's actually 2 links down below of where I personally am finding all of the properties that I'm able to find below market value, right? And that at the end of the day is the key, right? You want to buy low, you want to hold on to it for a long period of time, you want to reap all of the benefits of owning real estate, and then eventually you want to sell high. Remember, don't use bad debt, right? Only use good debt. There's very low interest rates right now. Do your homework, and I encourage you to go out there and make all of your goals and your dreams a reality, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.